Good morning. Myself, Guruswami K, Assistant Professor in Physics. Now I am going to deliver a fourth lecture on statistical mechanics. This comes under paper 6 of 3rd BSc course, 5th semester, belongs to Kuvempu University. Now we are going to discuss the learning objectives of this session. In this session, we are going to learn about derivation of Bose-Einstein statistics and drawing and interpreting related graphs. Session outcomes: we are able to derive Bose-Einstein distribution function, and also we know which kind of particles will obey Bose-Einstein statistics, and lastly, use of Stirling's approximation. Prerequisites for this session: factorial function, concept of factorial function that is discussed in mathematics. A symbolic representation, summation pi is equal to the product summation p1 into p2 to so on pn. And after taking log or ln, this is a natural log to the base e, we can write this ln of summation pi is equal to summation ln pi. A Stirling approximation: if m is large, ln m factorial can be written as m ln m minus m. These are the prerequisites to discuss the derivation of Bose-Einstein distribution law, and hence we are going to derive the Bose-Einstein distribution functions. And other requisites are: most probable distribution has maximum number of microstates, and variation symbol delta. These are the some prerequisites required to understand the derivation of Bose-Einstein distribution law. Now we are going to derive Bose-Einstein distribution function or Bose-Einstein distribution law. First we have to, this derivation is divided into totally 5 steps. Before going to discuss these steps, first we have to set up the problem. Nothing but let's consider an assembly of n number of bosons, capital N number of bosons. They are identical and indistinguishable. There is no restriction is imposed on the number of particles are to be distributed or that occupy a given cell. So let's consider a box divided into Gi section and by Gi minus 1 partitions, and ni indistinguishable particles to be distributed among these sections. Therefore, the actual number of ways in which ni particles are to be distributed in Gi sublevels is given by ni plus Gi minus 1 factorial divided by ni factorial into Gi minus 1 factorial. Okay, in the next step we are going to reduce this, just leaving this summation term, product summation. Okay, this one. This is what the actual number of ways in which ni particles are to be distributed in Gi sublevels, okay, possessing energy Ei. Now, we are going to arrange capital N number of particles in different energy states, as W is equal to summation Ori ni plus Gi minus 1 factorial divided by ni factorial into Gi minus 1 factorial. In step 2, here ni and Gi are large in numbers, thereby 1 can be neglected in the above equation. 1 in the numerator and as well as denominator can be neglected because ni plus Gi has use value, thereby the contribution of 1 in both numerator and denominator is negligible. So we can neglect the 1 in numerator and denominator, then we get terminal probability W is equal to summation Ori ni plus Gi factorial divided by ni factorial into Gi factorial. The next step, we are going to take natural log on both sides of the above equation, and by using Stirling's approximation, we have, we can apply natural log and using Stirling approximation, that is ln m factorial is equal to m ln m minus m. If you use those and simplifying, we get ln W is equal to summation of Ni plus Gi ln Ni plus Gi minus Ni ln Ni minus Gi ln Gi. Next, in the step 4, here variations are computed using the constraints. Most probable distribution has d ln W maximum equal to 0 and total number of particles and total energy and Gi are constants. If that is the case, Ni, small n is variable, total number of particles capital N, total energy capital E and Gi are constant. Then applying the most probable distribution condition, that is d ln W maximum is equal to 0, then ln W maximum is equal to summation of ln Ni plus Gi minus ln Ni dni equal to 0. And we know that summation dni is equal to 0 and summation ei delta ni is equal to 0. Then let's call this as equation 2, 3 and this as equation 1. Because here we found out the total number of particles and total energy are constants now, thereby summation delta ni or dni say equal to 0 and summation ei delta ni equal to 0. In step 5, multiplying equation 2 by minus alpha and equation 3 by minus beta and adding to equation 1. Okay, then we get here alpha and beta or what we call as undetermined multipliers. They are constants, undetermined multipliers, and here beta is equal to 1 by kT, where k is the Boltzmann constant and T is the absolute temperature. Now, if we do this on equation 2 and 3 and adding to equation 1, we get summation of ln Ni plus Gi minus ln Ni minus alpha minus beta Ei into delta Ni is equal to 0. Note delta Ni are independent. Thereby delta Ni not equal to 0. Thereby this term should be is equal to 0, equate to 0. Then here this is in the form of log A plus minus log B. So we may write ln of Ni plus Gi divided by Ni of minus of alpha plus beta E. If you transpose to RHS, then alpha plus beta Ei to go to RHS. Then again solve for Ni, we get Ni equal to Gi divided by e to the power of alpha plus beta Ei minus 1. This is what the expression for Bose-Einstein distribution. Number of particles are to be distributed in a given energy state. Now substituting beta value, then we get Ni equal to Gi divided by e to the power of alpha into e to the power of Ei by kT minus 1. Next we are going to deduce an expression for Bose-Einstein distribution function. That is f of B is equal to Ni by Gi. Just rearranging terms here, we get 1 over e to the power of alpha into e to the power of Ei by kT minus 1. Like this, we are deriving Bose-Einstein distribution formula for bosons. Recap: nature of bosons and their counting can be understood. Okay, BE statistics and BE distribution functions. These are okay discussed in this lecture. Thank you.